Some point.
Actually, we're going to handle an even crazier story, if there could be. Held hostage for refusing to pay a tip at a restaurant. It reportedly happened at this Houston, Texas restaurant. The manager of La Fisherman, as Brian says, sounds French, locked a party inside and called police when a woman and her 5 friends didn't leave the 17% gratuity required of parties of 5 or more. Well, the group claims the restaurant staff didn't deserve the tip. So who is right legally? Let's ask Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. If you can concentrate, because we've had showgirls, we've had tanning women, and Brian's commentary.
And we've had this nutty president of Spirit Airlines.
Okay, so now we're on to this. The people did not want to pay the tip. They say the service was horrible. It does say on the menu it's required. Do they have to pay it?
Well, there is no specific court ruling on this because the concept of adding automatic tips is relatively new, and as far as I know and as far as our research could determine, it hasn't been challenged. So the restaurant would say it wasn't really a tip, it was a surcharge, and you knew about it before you ordered the food. That's one argument. The other argument is it has been a custom and tradition in this country for hundreds of years. You like the service, you leave a tip. You don't like the service, you just pay the bill and go. And the amount of the tip is up to your own choosing. Who is this restaurant to change this very well-ingrained tradition here? But I'll tell you what the restaurant cannot do. It cannot arrest these people and hold them against their will.
So apparently they locked the doors and called the police.
Locking the doors would also prevent other people from leaving. That's called false imprisonment. It's like you invite me to your party, and I say something that you didn't like, and you want to get me back. You don't let me leave. You lock the doors?
Only if you bring good wine.
All right, I'll bring the good wine. But that is what's called a false imprisonment. It's not a crime, but you have a cause of action. You can sue the person who prevents you from leaving, and the police ought to have known that.
But here's the thing. Apparently, the restaurant itself is on the record as saying, we've called the police several times before for situations like this. Do the police have the duty to respond to something that may or may not be a crime?
Police today are taking the position that they will respond to all calls that they get, and that a dispatcher will not make the determination of who's right or who's wrong, but the police on the scene will. And it's probably a lot better and a lot safer for the person calling and the person about whom the call is made to deal with police officers on the scene than expecting a dispatcher on the phone to decide. But once getting there, the police should have said, you know what, this has nothing to do with the law, this has nothing to do with public safety, this has nothing to do with the cops. Let them go. If they don't pay the bill, sue them.
The interesting thing is that the family felt pressured, so they did pay the 17% because they wanted to get out the door.
Think about what's going to become of this restaurant in Houston. I don't think it's very popular this morning.
Maybe not. Judge Andrew Napolitano, always popular.
Promise not to lock me in your house?
I can't promise that just yet. I like you too much. Have a great weekend.